A Sefer Torah of Torah, or Torah scroll, is a handwritten copy of the Torah, the holiest book within Judaism. It must meet extremely strict standards of production. The Torah scroll is mainly used in the ritual of Torah reading during Jewish services. At other times, it is stored in the holiest spot within a synagogue, the Aron Kodesh, which is usually an ornate curtained-off cabinet or section of the synagogue built along the wall that most closely faces Jerusalem, the direction Jews face when praying. The text of the Torah is also commonly printed and bound in book form for non-ritual functions. Then it is known as a chumash, and is often accompanied by commentaries or translations. Usage. Torah reading from a Sefer Torah is traditionally reserved for Monday and Thursday mornings, as well as for Shabbat and Jewish holidays. The presence of a minyan is required for the reading of the Torah to be held in public during the course of the worship services. As the Torah is sung, following the often dense text is aided by a yad, a metal or wooden hand-shaped pointer that protects the scrolls by avoiding unnecessary contact of the skin with the parchment. Production. According to Halakha, a Sefer Torah is a copy of the formal Hebrew text of the 5 books of Moses handwritten on gevel or klaf by using a quill dipped in ink. Producing a Sefer Torah fulfills one of the 613 mitzvot. The klaf, parchment on which the Torah scroll is written, the hair or sinew with which the panels of parchment are sewn together, and the quill pen with which the text is written all must come from ritually clean, that is, kosher, animals, written entirely in Hebrew. A Sefer Torah contains 304,805 letters, all of which must be duplicated precisely by a trained sofer, an effort which may take as long as approximately 1.5 years. An error during transcription may render the Sefer Torah pasul. According to the Talmud, all scrolls must also be written on gevel parchment that is treated with salt, flour and mafatzim in order to be valid. Scrolls not processed in this way are considered invalid. In addition, the Talmud states that Moses used gevel for the Torah scroll he placed into the Holy Ark. The calf skin or parchment on which the sacred Hebrew text is written is mounted into a wooden housing called in Hebrew. The housing has 2 rollers, each of which has 2 handles used for scrolling the text, 4 handles in all. Between the handles and the rollers are round plates or discs which are carved with images of holy places, engraved with dedications to the donor's parents or other loved ones, and decorated with gold or silver. Most modern Sefer Torah are written with 42 lines of text per column. Very strict rules about the position and appearance of the Hebrew letters are observed. See for example the Mishnah Berurah on the subject. Any of several Hebrew scripts may be used, most of which are fairly ornate and exacting. The fidelity of the Hebrew text of the Tanakh, and the Torah in particular, is considered paramount, down to the last letter. Translations or transcriptions are frowned upon for formal service use, and transcribing is done with painstaking care. Some errors are inevitable in the course of production. If the error involves a word other than the name of God, the mistaken letter may be obliterated from the scroll by scraping the letter off the scroll with a sharp object. If the name of God is written in error, the entire page must be cut from the scroll and a new page added, and the page written anew from the beginning. The new page is sewn into the scroll to maintain continuity of the document. The old page is treated with appropriate respect, and is buried with respect rather than being otherwise destroyed or discarded. The completion of the Sefer Torah is a cause for great celebration, and honored guests of the individual who commissioned the Torah are invited to a celebration wherein each of the honored guests is given the opportunity to write one of the final letters. It is a great honor to be chosen for this. It is a mitzvah for every Jewish male to either write or have written for him a Sefer Torah. In the Torah's 613 mitzvot, the 613th is that every Jewish male should write a Sefer Torah in his lifetime. In modern times, it is usual for some scholars to become sofas, or trained scribes. and to be paid to complete a Sefer Torah under contract on behalf of a community or by individuals to mark a special occasion or commemoration. Because of the work involved, these can cost tens of thousands of dollars to produce to ritually proper standards. A printed version of the Torah is known as a Chumash. They are treated as respected texts, but not anywhere near the level of sacredness accorded a Sefer Torah, which is often a major possession of a Jewish community. A Chumash contains the Torah and other writings, usually organized for liturgical use, and sometimes accompanied by some of the main classic commentaries. Types of material permitted to use for a Sefer Torah. There are three types of specially processed animal skin or parchment: Gevel (KLAF) and Dutch Sustos, the latter two being one half of a split animal hide, arguably either the inner layer or the outer layer. These are Hebrew words to describe different types of parchment, although the term Dutch Sustos is Greek. These are used for the production of a mezuzah, megillah, tefillin, and/or a Sefer Torah. A kosher Sefer Torah should be written on Gevel. If KLAF is used in place of Gevel, the Sefer Torah is still kosher, but this should not be done at the outset. A Sefer Torah written on Dutch Sustos is not kosher. After preparation, the scribe must mark out the parchment using the sagel, ensuring the guidelines are straight. Only the top guide is done and the letters suspended from it. The use of Gevel and certain types of parchment has allowed some Sefer Torah of antiquity to survive intact for over 800 years. The ink used in writing scrolls had to adhere to a surface that was rolled and unrolled, so special inks were developed. Even so, ink would slowly flake off of scrolls. If the ink from too many letters is lost, a Torah scroll is no longer used. Inauguration of a Torah scroll. The installation of a new Sefer Torah into a synagogue, or into the sanctuary or study hall of a yeshiva, rabbinical college, university campus, nursing home, military base, or other institution, is done in a ceremony known as Hatnazah Sefer Torah, which is accompanied by celebratory dancing, singing, and a festive meal. This practice has its source in the escorting of the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, led by King David. As described in the Book of Samuel, this event was marked by dancing and the playing of musical instruments. Both the Kohanim and David himself danced before the ark, or danced before the Lord. It is considered a tremendous merit to write a Sefer Torah, and a significant honor to have a Sefer Torah written in one's honor or memory.